So thank you very much, everyone, for joining today's drop-in session. Hope you're all having a good day so far. Today, we'll be looking at a future focus, and it's all about comments and feedback. So we're going to be looking at how you can use these tools to collaborate effectively. We're looking at capturing ideas, managing feedback, and embedding continuous improvement into your processes. So just going to be showing what we're covering today. So just a quick intro into why you might want to use comments in Spark. Then we'll be doing a bit of a live demo, adding and managing comments, going through all the different features, any little tips and tricks that might be available. And then at the end, we'll also be looking at the comment manager ability, which is a little bit more of an advanced, feature, but it's quite a powerful one, and it's good to have as well, and it's something that you can use with your comments. So just a quick little intro into why you might want to use comments. So first point is that it lets you capture your suggestions, questions, and ideas directly inside a process. So instead of having to jot down maybe on a piece of paper or take notes elsewhere, and you're having to link your URL to your processes, it can get a little bit messy trying to keep track of what notes you have for which processes. You might have different types of comments that you want to capture, such as feedback, or just reminders as well. So using the comments feature inside of Spark is really useful for that. It lets you tie any type of feedback or comment that you want to a specific process or a document as well. And then just as a follow-up point, you can manage different types of feedback as well, and that's something that I will actually show. You can actually create different types of comments, and that includes different comment type fields, and you can actually build up, depending on the type of comment that you want to create, you can supplement that with different types of fields as well. Next, you can also track changes and close the loop on feedback. So obviously it's good to capture your changes. If you're making constant changes to a process, you might be working with lots of different people on a given process. There might be feedback that you need to take care of. Using the comments feature in Spark is a good way to facilitate that, and then you can obviously confirm, or if you have any follow-ups that you might need to carry out, you can detail that all within your process. And then just as a follow-up point as well, it lets you take charge of your approvals and review cycles, which are two other features actually, but comments work quite well with those. So, and actually approvals is something that we covered in the last sort of future focus session. If you have an approval, you might want to leave comments on your process about what you're approving, and in a review cycle as well, you might have been given instructions of what you need to actually review in that process. Comments are a good way to just, you might need to give feedback based on your review notes that you might have been given, and so on. So yeah, less of this and more of this, which is always a good thing, and it's something that Spark lets you do. So let's actually go into a process, and I'll show you sort of how to use the comments. So what we have here is a process just on patient attendance for a clinic. And when you enter a process, you'll see something like this essentially. And we've got our process here. And what you'll see at the top here, you've got your little comments panel here. If I click that, let me just quickly refresh my screen. Interesting. It's always good timing. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. Looks like the full screen was playing up, but when you click this icon here, you'll be able to open up your comments panel. And obviously, if you haven't created any comments, then this will be empty. But you can see here, we've got a comment from myself and a comment from Tom. When you create a comment, actually what we'll do is we'll just create a comment first, just to show you how it works. So you've got your comments type picker here, which you can select, and we'll just select one feedback, and we'll just say this needs to be changed. What you have the option of, depending on the comment type fields that you add, which we'll actually go into just after this. On here, we've got a full text editor, so I can open it. I can add, various different elements such as images or, bullet points, whatever I like, because I'm using the full text editor. You've also got the option to assign your comment to someone in your team. So, that way, if you can just pick from whoever. So if I want to assign my comment to Colin, then I can do that. And then what will happen is Colin will actually receive an email to say that he's been assigned this comment, and then he'll be able to take action. So I can add a new comment here. And then you can see this is what it looks like. You've got the name of whoever created the comment, and you have the ability to like the comment as well, so you can give a little bit of visual feedback. You have the option to mark a comment as completed or open, depending on where the action has been taken. You also have the option to edit your comments. You can, if you need to make any changes, you can do that. And you also have a few options here. You can add a call out. So what a call out is, if I drag this onto the canvas, it's a little visual indicator. So this is quite useful. Maybe I need this specific box to be changed. You can drag a call out, and that will display on your process. And you have the option of toggling whether this needs to be displayed or not. So if I just click the toggle here, you can see it disappears and appears. You can add as many callouts as you want, so there's no real limit. What you can also do, actually, which is really useful, you can actually assign your comment to a box on the canvas, which is very useful. So if I just get rid of this call out, and all you need to do is just click this icon here, and then it says waiting for a box to be selected. And then if I select this here now, you can see it's actually added the specific box to the comment, which is very useful. And what you'll find is actually where this can be useful, if you have a large process, this actually becomes clickable. It always is actually clickable, but if you click it, it will take you to this specific box that you've assigned the comment to. So really helpful. It saves a lot of time. You don't have to sift through your process. If you have lots of different boxes as well, you can just click the little link here, and then it will take you to the box in question. You can also see here who it's been assigned to, and you have the option to reply as well. So that's just a little bit of a basic overview just on creating a comment in the first place. What you want to do is, if you haven't actually created any types, you want to actually head back to your workspace. You want to head to admin, obviously admin rights apply. So you'll need to make sure that you have access. And if I just type in comments, you've got this admin option here for comment types. So to leave comments, you'll need to create a comment type. This is the useful thing, is that you can create different comment types depending on what you need. So you can see here, I've got a few here. I've got one for feedback, one for anything important that I might need to notify a team member about, and also any improvement ideas. So, if there's something in a process that I've spotted, maybe, so instead of just having one comment for all of them, you can actually split them into different categories, which is very useful. So we'll create a new comment type. For the purpose of this, I will just call it drop-in. And you'll have the option to add different fields. And there's a lot of different fields here. What you'll notice is that this is actually present in a lot of different areas as well. So, anything that has different properties such as glossaries, systems, roles, it's the same sort of thing here. So you can add as many different fields as you want. So let's add a long text field. We'll just call it a long comment. You can add any help text. You can choose the position, all of the same stuff that you're used to. And let's add a checkbox, and we'll just call it actioned. And obviously you've got different options depending on the fields that you choose to add. Obviously here we've got one to choose whether by default we want it to be on, but we don't want to. So after you've added your fields, what you can do is you can click preview, and then this will give you a preview. So when you add a comment, you'll be able to see, okay, this is what it will look like. And you can obviously interact with it as well, however you want. So what we'll do is let's add one more actually. Let's add a date picker. And let's just call it date. And there we go, we can preview it again. It all works, it all looks good. And let's save our comment type. So once you've saved a comment type, it will appear in the list here, just as all the others. You have the option to edit it again if you want to. You can also open the report, which we'll show a little bit later. And then you've also got a few more options here. What you'll notice is that there's an option for comment type permissions. This is a bit more of an advanced feature. So by default, with all comment types, anyone can create, edit, and remove entries, but you have the option to manage these permissions as well if you want a little bit more granularity. We can uncheck a few of these, and then you've got the option to add specific users. So if I scroll down, we can say, we can choose who is actually able to create, edit, and remove entries as well. We've also got some creator permissions at the bottom, and this is actually for anyone who creates the entry. So you've got even more added granularity. So we can choose whether they're able to view their entries, edit them, or delete them as well. So you've got a lot of control over your comment types, depending on what you want to do. For the purpose of this drop-in, we're just going to keep it very simple. We're just going to make sure that by default, anyone can create, edit, and remove entries, but you've got those options there. For anyone who's, wants those advanced options, it's all there. So let's just save. And again, you've got the option here to preview, or you can delete your comment type as well. So if we head back to our process and we come back to the comments section here, we can see here, I've left a comment here. Previously, I've said, let's review the process with the administrator on Wednesday. If I want to, I can drop that down with a call out. We've also got a comment here from Tom. He's left a feedback comment, and you can actually see, based on the comment type that I've used, Tom's used the feedback comment type, and I've used the important comment type. Tom's asking, is there anything I need to add to the process? I can reply to a comment as well. So I might add this box is missing content. What does patient need to do? We can save that, and you'll see here we've got a little button that will show our replies. And again, if I want to, I can drag the call out here, and I can put that here so I can see that this patient box is missing content. And then what will actually happen is if I close this, you can actually click the little comment toggle here, and it will open it up and highlight it. So again, it's very interactive, and it helps you sort of pinpoint where the feedback is coming from within your process. Let's take a look at the comment type that we just created. So you can see here now we've got the drop-in comment type, and all of the fields that we added and all of the details are there as well. So we've got a long comment here. We've got the option to click whether it's been actioned or not. Say, looks good. I can click that it's been actioned, and then if I want to, I can add, let's say, today's date, and then we've got the option to assign that comment as well, which is very useful. And then you can see here, depending on the fields that you've added, your comment will look slightly different. So lots of different fields to play around with, depending on your needs within a process. Don't be hesitant to create as many different comment types as you need, depending on what you need to add, such as feedback, improvement ideas, change requests, so on. What you can also do in a comment is you can mention users as well. So using the @ symbol, you should be able to. Actually, sorry, you can't. I was confusing that with assigning it to a user, but you can add as many users as you want to a comment if you need to, and then you'll be able to receive that email to say that you need to action that. So we've covered comments in your process. What I'll do is I'll just show you, we have a dedicated comments section here. So under collaboration, you'll see there's a comment section. And this looks a little bit different. What this is it shows you all of your comments across your entire workspace, and that includes processes as well. So you've got the workspace option here, and you've got all of your processes. So if you want to view, instead of going into each process one by one, you've got the option to see everything here, and you can see actually all of the comments that we've just added on this process. If I go to Workspace, I haven't created any comments here in the workspace, but you can if you want. That's perfectly possible. So again, you have that option as well. So comments don't just have to be tied to your processes. What you'll notice is that you've got the option to select between yours or all processes. And obviously you can mark a comment as completed. When you do, you actually have the option to show your comments as completed or not. So you can filter through different comments depending on their status. And you've also got a filter option at the top here, which shows your different comment types. So if I was to click drop in, that's because I've marked it as complete. Let's see, if I was to click feedback, you can see here now it's only going to show my feedback comments across all of my processes. So it's a good way to manage your comments if you are going to be using it a lot. Lets you keep a track of what is going on across all of your processes. Something that I'll actually show you as well, if we go to reporting, and if I type comments, you'll actually have reports based on each different comment type that you've created. So if I was to go into, let's just go into drop in, you can actually get reporting data based on all of the comments that you've created. So the comment type, you can see all of the fields that we've added here, but it will also tell you how many replies there are, which process it was created on. You'll be able to see creation details, if the comment was completed, who it was completed by, and your like count as well, and your call out counts. There's lots of different fields here, so do play around with that as well. What I'll do is I'll just show you the final sort of advanced feature surrounding comments, and this is to do with abilities management. So if you don't know, we've got a number of abilities in Spark. These can be assigned to anyone, and what it does is it lets you manage different permissions, different abilities in Spark based around certain features. And one of them is the comment manager. So as it says here, what this ability does is it lets you manage comment types, the ability to create an update, and with all comments, including editing, deleting, marking as completed. So anyone with this ability will be able to edit, delete, mark others' comments. So if you want to be able to manage them, then you can. And then you also have additional permissions, which I showed previously, based at the comment type level, which gives you further restriction of who can create and edit comments. You can see here that the comment manager ability overrides those restrictions, so do bear that in mind. This is basically the most powerful role. And also users without the ability can post comments and edit their own. So you have that option there. If you click edit, you'll be able to add different user groups and users as well. So that's a little bit more of an advanced feature. Should you wish to use it, it's there. Just bear in mind, obviously, it does override any comment type level restrictions as well. So there we go. If I just head back to our drop-in. So a little bit of a shorter one, but just a quick overview of why you might want to use the comments feature, why you might want to sort of how you're going to add and manage comments as well, all of the different options, the different permissions as well, and then you've also got the comment manager ability as well. So when you use that, if you're going to be working with lots of different people in your team, you might as well use it. It's everything can stay within the process, makes it much easier to track changes, give feedback based on different parts of your process, rather than having to fire emails back and forth, or take notes constantly in a different app or within your notes. So yeah, what I have actually also added here, we have a support article that covers all of this in detail. So I've sort of created it, so everything that I've covered here, it's in even more detail in this article, which is in our community portal, our community documents portal. And as you can see here, goes through everything that I've mentioned in detail. So if you need a quick reference, then this is here as well. What I'll do is I'll just share that in the chat as well.